And then I'm going to give everyone a little bit of idea of who is Sherrie, and then the stage is yours. So just give me one moment. Guys, I'm very excited to introduce Sherrie Torrand. She is an unlimited love coach, helping people connect with their worthiness, find their true purpose, and awaken to unconditional love in their relationships. Sounds good so far. She is a mother of 3 beautiful daughters, a published author, inspired speaker, Zen Triotherapy, there we go, practitioner, and founder and facilitator of Living from Heart Center. Sherrie's mission is to assist people in awakening to deep truth and remembrance of the divine love that they are. Love it. Inspire them to live life to the fullest and courageously express their highest potential and truest nature. Yes, Sherrie, I'm excited. The stage is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Sherrie. What a fantastic few days. And the speakers that I missed, I'm so excited to listen to the replays. So let's just take a moment to arrive and just really invite your whole self here. So take a few breaths and just be here now. Allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to be held for this next 40 minutes or so. Okay, so let me ask you, how many of you are moving through some big changes, some life transitions, and really feeling like you may have outgrown your old life and your new life isn't quite in yet? So perhaps you're experiencing a little bit of confusion, a little bit of frustration, a little bit of overwhelm. So you're not alone. That's like a huge thing for my clients right now is they're really feeling pulled towards something more. So of course this is the perfect title of this summit. I thought how amazing because so many people are feeling pulled to something more, to a greater version of themselves, to really learn how to express themselves more authentically in the world. And they're not quite sure how to do that. And this is unfamiliar territory. So, of course, when we get to that edge of unfamiliar territory, what comes up? Resistance, fear. Our heads kind of start to freak out and, like, what are you doing? And try and pull us back down to the familiar place. And for a lot of us, that familiar place is feeling very stagnant, and it's kind of this stuck place where we know there is something trying to birth through us. So I'm going to really help you with the steps today to make yourself more available for that, for the divine true expression of who you are, to release what's in the way and to step into the next chapter of your life with so much power, so much courage, confidence, authenticity. So the steps I'm going to share with you have been magical in my own life. And so, how many of you know that you have some belief systems, some ideas about yourself and about life that are interfering with your ability to truly express yourself, that are interfering with your ability to really allow yourself to be seen in your relationships, in the world, online? Everything's kind of converted online right now. So this has been a huge thing for me. And really up leveling my game and allowing myself to be seen and to express and know that I'm enough, whatever it is. So I'm very used to that in-person connection, and I've converted my coaching business online. And I am so grateful that I was kind of pushed into it, because the benefits have been crazy, awesome, exponential. And I'm getting that you really can connect heart to heart on an energetic level through this platform, the beautiful online platform, Zoom platform. And so I opted out of a PowerPoint today for that very reason, because my business and like I'm all about connection, and I love PowerPoints and the visual. But what I really want to invite you to do today is just to really feel with me. Feel. I'm going to invite you into your heart center. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I came to do what I do. So, I was talking about that time of transition and how a lot of people are going through some pretty major shifts in their life, relationship changes, career upheaval, um, and really, and life purpose, like really looking for something that feels more meaningful and more authentic to them. And about 12 years ago, I was in a space where I was really torn. So there was a huge decision that I was faced with, whether to stay in my marriage or whether to leave my marriage. And I had 3 young daughters, and it tore me up. My head, of course, was telling me, he's a good man. What are you thinking? You need to stay. You have 3 daughters. You made a commitment. And my heart just felt this pull to something else, to something more, to something different. And there was this deep knowing that if I stayed, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't really step into who I am. I would continue to use my relationship and some of the stuff that was going on as an excuse to stay stuck. And I did that for many years until one day I had a full blown anxiety attack. So I don't know if any of you have ever experienced an anxiety attack. Anyone? You can put it in the chat. Scariest thing of my life. It was insane. I was certain I was dying of a heart attack, like crushing chest pain, numbness. My whole face went numb. My hands went numb. My feet went numb. This numbness, this tingling. I thought, I must be having a stroke. I must be having a heart attack. It was so scary. And then started just a whole battery of worries and issues. A 3-year journey. So, yeah, Sherry's experienced it. Yeah, Virio's has experienced that pull before. So, you guys get what I mean. And it just really took its toll on me, this indecision, my inability to make a decision, this huge split between my head and my heart. My head wanting one thing, my heart longing for something different. And so I started having regular anxiety attacks, going to the hospital, in and out of the hospital for years, actually. So this was a 3-year journey. And I call it my breakdown breakthrough. So it started with anxiety attacks. Then I started to get all sorts of different unexplained aches and pains, numbness and tingling in my body, heart palpitations, crushing chest pain. My joints started to just ache. I couldn't teach anymore. I was a school teacher. I was scared. And I'd already been on a personal development journey for several years. So there was this part of me that was saying, that there's something good in this, there's a gift in this, and you can heal yourself. So I dove into all sorts of different things. I Googled everything. I found all sorts of diets. I started juicing. I went to every traditional and non traditional doctor. to try to find some answers. I tried so many things. I was painting my feet with iodine. I was doing oil pulling. I was going to a chiropractor. I was like everything, and they all kind of helped. And then they didn't because I wasn't really addressing the root. So little did I know. And I started to feel disillusioned. I started to lose hope. Um, it was so painful, and it was so painful. The most painful part was that I couldn't parent my daughters the way that I wanted to. And I knew I was kind of at this choice point because I actually felt like I was dying. And I remembered from the Shawshank Redemption, get busy living or get busy dying. And I thought, I have 3 daughters. I'm going to live. I'm going to get through this. And eventually, I was diagnosed because I started getting all sorts of autoimmune symptoms and all those aches and pains. So eventually, I was told that I was positive for lupus, that I had minor mitral valve prolapse. So my heart was crying out for attention so much that it actually, my valve collapsed. Um, I also had major thyroid issues, and I went down to under 100 pounds. So this was quite the journey for me. And I remember one day, after trying everything I could think of for almost 2 years, just breaking down. So I was on my bathroom floor. I fell to my knees and I started to just pray. And I hadn't prayed for a long time. So I was desperate. And I asked for help and I asked for guidance. And I surrendered. I said, I don't know what to do. Nothing's working. And the message that came to me really loud and clear was, Sherrie, you have to love yourself. I'm like, okay. And really, I realized I have no idea what that means. How many of you had role models of parents that love themselves? Probably not. We're not really taught how to love ourselves. We're taught how to berate ourselves, how to believe that we're not good enough, and so it was crazy. It was a crazy journey. And I opened up my Facebook page, and one of my mentors, a lady that was a coach that I really respected, just opened up a new group on Facebook, and it was all about Ho'oponopono. So I don't know if you're familiar with Ho'oponopono, but it's a process of cleansing and clearing. It's a forgiveness process. And I really got that this was going to be a big thing for me, that part of loving myself was forgiving myself. And so the first thing that I did was I forgave myself for not knowing how to love myself. So just breathe that in for a moment. Because I think a lot of us, that might be our first step. Is forgiving ourselves for not knowing how to heal ourselves, how to love ourselves, how to make a living doing what we love, how to find the courage to express ourselves authentically. I mean, and I can feel it even now. Like I can feel that vibration and how big this was for me. And so I started with forgiveness, and I developed a routine, my self-love routine every single night, listening to positive affirmations about perfect health and really imagining myself feeling healthy again, parenting my daughters the way I wanted to, living my life with purpose and passion. And I went to every point of pain, every part of my body that I realized was crying out for my attention, that's what pain was. It was my body saying, something's up. I need your love. And so I would go to those body parts and I welcome the pain. And I would say to those parts of me, I love you. I'm listening. And just breathe. And tears started to flow. Something started to break. Something started to happen. And needless to say, less than a year after I started that self love journey, my symptoms got farther and farther apart. My attacks got farther and farther apart. I started to identify the anxiety, what was causing that anxiety, and I would just breathe, and I'd in fact welcome it. And I realized that that's the biggest secret. So I want to share that with you first. Is the biggest secret is to welcome what is. Whatever is here for a reason. It's an opportunity to help you grow, to help you evolve, an opportunity to release the baggage of the past so that you can create a new future, so that your future doesn't need to look a lot like your past, because we have these patterns that kind of replay. And through forgiveness and through self love, you can actually dissolve those patterns, those belief systems, those ideas of who you think you are, the fear that you have of really being and expressing yourself. So that was so important. The steps came to me because I did them. I know this works. And it didn't happen overnight. And let me tell you, there were some points where I was losing patience. And then one day I realized I haven't had those symptoms for a long time. I don't have lupus now. My mitral valve is weak, but it's in the normal range. My thyroid is completely healed. And I did it without medications. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But what really was self love and forgiveness practices. And I realized, that this is like one of the things I'm most grateful for in my life. This was one of the greatest gifts I've ever been given, was this breakdown breakthrough. How many of you have heard before that you find your purpose in your pain? Yeah, I found my purpose in my pain. And so my body started to heal. I started to feel energized again. I found my teacher, Zen Master Nisa Mamon. I founded my business. It started as parenting from heart and then evolved into living from heart center, because I realized you can't parent from a place you don't know how to live from. I became a self love and forgiveness coach, which has just this year been upgraded to an unlimited love coach. And self love and forgiveness are some of the primary tools that I use. So, absolutely. Yeah. Virio found her purpose in through her pain too. It's huge. Self love is huge. Yeah. Thanks, Lonnie. Your body is such an amazing, incredible guide. We need to start listening to those cries for love and attention. And that's really all I did. So the first step is to recognize, to acknowledge what's going on, like to get brutally honest with yourself. Recognize, yeah, something's up here. I'm not feeling like my usual vibrant, loving self. So maybe you're feeling pain in your body. Maybe you're very critical of yourself. No, but something isn't quite right. Something doesn't feel good. You're not feeling good is the first sign that something's up. That something basically that you're telling yourself a lie. So according to Byron Katie, we suffer because we believe our thoughts. So we need to question those thoughts. The lies that we tell ourselves that we're not enough, not smart enough, not good enough, not educated enough, not skilled enough. Because that's the very thing that's interfering with your ability to experience and know yourself as unlimited love. That's who you are. That's what you are. And you won't know that until you clear away enough mental, emotional, and physical clutter that you're available for that love, to feel that love, to embody that love. It's already in you. You're not separate from it. And that's what I teach people. And that's what I started to experience and realize, recognizing the cries for love in my heart. My heart crying out, like, just acknowledge me, feel your feelings. Stop brushing them aside and being strong and being there for everyone else. I was like the ultimate people pleaser. I'm sure some of you can identify with that. And Susie Homemaker, and a teacher, and I was there for everyone except myself. I thought I was being there for myself, but I really wasn't actually holding space for my own feelings. So step 2 is acceptance. Recognize and then accept. You need to really come to a place of acceptance for every part of you. And when you're judging parts of yourself, you're hiding them, you have shame around them, judgment is non-acceptance. When you're judging yourself, that falls into the category of resistance. And we all know that what you resist persists. And this is where I was falling short. So the first 2 years, when I was trying everything to heal myself, what I was doing wrong, or what wasn't aligned about that, was I was doing it from a place of fear and resistance. I wanted to get rid of these symptoms. I judged them as bad and wrong. I judged myself for not knowing how to heal them, for not being good enough to figure out these answers. And that's where it stopped. That's why I was at a standstill. That's why it wasn't working, because I wasn't actually accepting and loving those parts of me. I was judging them. I was critical of them. I wanted to push them away and get rid of them. And what I needed to do was welcome and accept them. So just breathe that in, because this was huge for me. Yeah, thanks, Sherrie. My heart was crying out for acknowledgement. And judging yourself, we think we need to do that in order to improve ourselves. But what we really need is to believe in ourselves. Just like a child, our children don't need our criticism. They don't need our judgment. Then they rate it. That's where that whole belief that we're not good enough comes from. We think we're correcting them and giving them good guidance so they can become a person that contributes and that's accepted and that's loved and that's happy. But in fact, we keep giving them the same messages we give ourselves, the same messages that our parents gave us, the same messages that our parents gave themselves, and so on and so on and so on, that we're not good enough. You're not enough. When you correct your spouse, your kids, yourself before connecting, it's hurtful. It's not helpful. We need to connect before we correct. We need to connect with whatever's going on. We need to accept it. And the line that always stuck with me is, what you're feeling, you're healing. What you're not willing to feel, you're not willing to heal. So take that one in. What you're feeling, you're healing. This feeling is so important. My whole business is called Living from Heart Center. And it's my practice, living from heart center, welcoming all that is, feeling and healing. And you cannot forgive or surrender something until you've accepted it. If you're still in judgment of it, If you're forgiving to get rid of something, it's not going to be nearly as powerful. You might get little glimpses, but I'm telling you, this is huge. The next step is forgiveness. Recognize what's going on. What are you telling yourself? How are you feeling? When you tell yourself that you're not enough, where do you feel that? What does that feel like in your body? And then actually welcome it. Welcome that feeling. Welcome that. Forgive yourself for believing that. You're innocent. It's been passed down from generation to generation. And then once you've felt the anger, the resentment, the pain, the sadness, once you've allowed yourself to grieve, because every ending requires grief. And we're going through global grieving right now. And there's stages that need to be felt in the cycle of grief. That comes first before forgiveness. People will just jump to forgiveness and then wonder why they still have these patterns showing up in their life, in their relationships. So feel first, feel it, accept it, acknowledge it, welcome it. Then there's the forgiveness process. And then after the forgiveness process, and my favorite process is the Ho'oponopono process. The next step is now you've kind of emptied out. You've taken out the garbage, the clutter of your mind, the clutter of your emotion, and there's some space. And in that space, you realize, oh my gosh, there's this loving presence. Your presence is love. And this is the very thing that's been pulling you out of your ability to be present with yourself, with others. And when you're fully present with another, what happens? Love. When I'm present and you're present, love is present. Period. And people say they can feel my love. And these are the steps I've used to get to that place where people can feel me. And I know that what you're feeling, you're healing. And I know that love heals. Love doesn't hurt. That's another lie we've told ourselves. It's the expectations, the obligations, these other ideas that we have about love that are what hurts. Love itself is pure presence and it's always healing. So, what's in the way? And the final step, or the final two steps, I guess, so is really to remember or refill who you really are. Refill yourself. After you've done the forgiveness work, then you get to choose. Like, okay, refill yourself with who you really are, with truth, with light, with confidence, with courage. And then give thanks for the healing that just took place. This is soul level healing. This happens on an energetic level. And everything happens as energy before it comes in to the physical. Our physical part of us is the most dense, isn't it? So it takes a little time. It's a little slow. We're a little bit dense. So what's already happened in the physical realm or in the energetic realm takes a while to catch up to us physically and show up in our bodies. So I didn't heal overnight. But it was a lifetime of people pleasing and pushing myself aside and judging myself instead of accepting myself that created and brought about this breakdown breakthrough, which was the biggest gift I've ever experienced. It's why I do what I do. It's what gave me the courage to quit teaching and start teaching what I love. And I love teaching kids, but some of the other pieces of the school system just I thought there was gaps. I wanted to fill in those gaps. You know, how do you love yourself? How do you forgive yourself? How do you connect and communicate with another on a deep, mindful, beautiful level? You know? So yeah. Sherry says it's like tear it all down and then you can build it and fill it up again. Yes. So that is the process. It's this deconstruction, this releasing of everything you're not, And then realizing that what's actually left is what you are. And then building constructing the structure of your life that can hold that level of light and love, because I'm telling you, it's huge. It's huge. When I got this, when I actually started to understand and live this practice of loving myself and forgiving myself every day, I met my true friends. I met my soulmate. We've been leading unconditional love retreats since 2012. I overflow with love regularly. Like my tears tend to be overflow of so much love that I can't contain it. I have to give it, I have to share. So I just want to lead you through just a few minute meditation to really anchor this in. So let's work on the belief, because we all have it to some degree, of feeling like we're not enough. This fear that we're not enough that holds us back in so many ways from really being and expressing who we are in the world and in relationship, because we have such a fear of being judged, of not being accepted. And of course, that will reflect back to us when we're carrying such a big belief that we're not enough. We're going to have that reflected back to us. See, I told you I wasn't enough, right? So now I just want you to follow that idea into your body, because emotions are digested through your body. So where does that reside in your body, that belief that I'm not enough? How does it feel in your body? How does it feel emotionally when you believe that you're not good enough? Welcome it. Welcome the feeling. Maybe there's a heaviness in your heart. Maybe it feels like my throat's doing some stuff right now. So maybe someone else has that going on. It's like, like inability to speak your truth, right? Thyroid issues, disconnect between your head and your heart. So this also aligns your head and your heart. I love myself. Who's the I and who's myself? You point to yourself. You point here. When we say that when we judge ourselves and we criticize ourselves, it's this disconnect between our head and our heart. Right? I'm judging myself. I'm criticizing myself. I'm not looking after myself. So this is starting to affirm that you're important, that you are your priority. So just be with whatever you're feeling right now. Welcome it, in fact. Invite it to get bigger, which seems very counterintuitive, but I'm telling you, if we do the opposite of what we've been taught to do, it actually works really well. So just inviting the sensations, the feelings that go with that idea, that lie that we've believed that we're not enough. And then put your hand on your heart and one on your belly. Breathe into the center of that pain and just tell it, I love you. I'm listening. I'm sorry for judging you. I'm sorry for being so critical, so hard on you. My own heart. And in your heart, within your heart lies your inner child, your little girl. I'm sorry for any time and every time I spoke to you, or I treated you in a way that was unkind, that was critical, that was hurtful. So speaking right to that pain, the pain in your heart, the pain of your inner child, of believing that she's not enough, that she can never do anything good enough. I'm so sorry for believing that. And then say with all your heart to that little girl within you, please forgive me. Please forgive me for every time and any time I spoke to you with words that weren't loving, that weren't kind. Please forgive me for believing the ideas that you weren't enough, that you weren't smart enough, that you weren't good enough, that you weren't pretty enough, that you weren't skilled enough. Forgive me for believing that and understanding that you're innocent, that you had no choice, you were just a child. So, through all time and space and all dimensions, going all the way back to the original incident where you felt like you weren't enough, where you actually took that belief on as your own, and forgive yourself right here, right now. And then refill with what you want, with the truth of who you are. Let your inner child know that you are enough just as you are. Breathe it in and receive it. You are light. You are love. You are always loved. You are gifted and talented. You're here for a reason. Let her know I'm so proud of you. I love you. And tell her with all your heart, thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity to reconnect, to heal the past. Please show me how to love you more. And just wait for a moment and see what comes up. Ask her, how can I love you more? What are you needing? Such a beautiful question to ask our loved ones. How can I love you more? And always remember to include yourself. Asking those parts of you that are crying out for your love and attention. How can I love you more? What are you needing? And then just being with that part, listening, opening, accepting, welcoming. And just take a few breaths to anchor that in. Breathing in gratitude for this reconnection with the truth of who you are, with the love that you are, the light that you are, inviting it in more and more every day in every way. I am that. I am. Breathe it in and feel who you are. Feel the love that you are. These are the steps to get you to that space, to that place of truth and love. And so I just want to leave you with a blessing. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and grace. And may you know beyond a shadow of a doubt who you really are, the unlimited, boundless, unconditional love that you are. I wish for you an experience of that. And if you use these steps, you're going to deconstruct who you're not. And what's left is that, the light, the love that you are. Blessings to everyone. Thank you so much for being here.
Wow, Jerry. That was very powerful. Thanks, Jerry, for the reminder of healing power of, how do you say it again? I see it, but I don't know how to say it.
Ho'oponopono.
Say it again.
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono. There we go. That was beautiful. And I don't know about you guys out there. Go ahead and throw in the chat there if it was same for you, but it was just so powerful, Jerry. Like so powerful. So many things you said, just really, yeah, wow. Really love this. Powerful is an understatement, Lonnie.
Mm. Thank
Yeah. And we do feel your love.
Oh, thank you.
And you know what? When you were saying, where do you feel it? I was in my mind talking all about my throat.
Yeah. So was you. I'm like, ooh, I'm getting some stuff going
I'm
on.
going, yeah, it's in my throat a lot, but then it's here too, but it's really in my throat. Like, I think that's where and I was having this conversation with myself. And then you said that, and I was like, what? So yeah, that was me. I don't know if it was anybody else, but that was me. So it's so powerful. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Came in late, but wow, all the same. Oh, that's great, Gail. Can't wait to hear the whole thing on recording. Absolutely. Very, very powerful. Um, I was just when towards the end too, when you were talking about, what do you need? Whatever question that was for me to love you more. And I know a question that came up for me is like, well, what if I don't know?
Yeah.
Like,
Then
what
the
if I
number
don't know?
first step is forgive yourself for not knowing.
Yeah.
And then there's a relaxation and an opening. And then just ask again, like, how can I love you more? What are you needing?
Yeah. Again, you want to go into that
Reflect.
resistance. Oh no, I don't know.
Yeah.
Angst, right? But yes, I love it. It's all about it's okay. Everything's like it's okay not to know, accept that, embrace that. I love watching this is my nighttime thing that I love doing is watching Ian the Van Zandt. And I was thinking of that too when she's always like getting people, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, like you got as she would say, you got to feel it so then you can deal with it and you can heal it. And I love what you're talking about. It's like, moving into it and just bring it up even more, feel it even more, because I mean, you're the expert here, but I'm thinking that's how you can then start to heal it, accept it. But this is what I love. You're talking about accepting it.
Yeah.
We want to fix, we want to go, this is bad. We want to go, this is something I got to fix in myself. This is something that's not right with me. This is something, but you're talking about, no, bring that all in and
Yeah. It's
accept.
integration, integrating all your parts. It's how we align our body, our mind, and our spirit. And there's so much power when we're aligned. Like we just become this like vessel for incredible light, incredible love. But without the alignment, that kind of light and love that we actually are, we can't even hold it,
Yeah.
you know?
Which is
And
why
we
we have
can when we're aligned.
glimpses, right? Or you can have glimpses of it where you're like I'm so connected right now and I feel so aligned. And then other times you're like, what the hell happened? Like yesterday was good. What's going on today? Or, whatever. Maybe it's hour to hour sometimes, but
Yeah.
Lonnie, goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Catherine, you're amazing. Jerry, thanks.
Thank you.
Very, very powerful. Thank you so much. I almost like just feel weird about like talking about gifts and this and that because it's just so powerful and we just want to stay in this space of that. But
Absolutely. Yeah. We could shift.
but I know that you had something to offer everyone, and I just want to myself go and look at what that was. Yes, here. Life design workbook. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. Yeah. So I have an ultimate life design workbook for you. And that's a really great, powerful first few steps where the questions are in there, the power questions to help you really get to know yourself on a deeper level, get to know what's aligned for you. And and then you can actually start to, and it'll also give you some direction on how to create a more aligned, more empowered chapter of your life. Because I think so many people are at this turning point on this edge and in this transitional period. So it'll really help you get clear on your next steps what's most aligned, what's important to you. What are your core values that you need to, like, all your decisions need to come from your core values and this what's important to you. But a lot of people don't know. They don't know what's important. They don't know what they want, and they
Right.
don't know why they want it. So that
Right.
clarity is powerful.
Yeah. We've spent so much time. And I think, I'm not pushing the men out or anything, but I guess I'm a woman and I can relate to women and talking with other women. But I think this is a big, big deal for women because we are nurturers. We are, the caregivers. We tend to be. And so, yes, it's, looking after everybody else all the time. And I know in my family, I catch myself even doing it with my own kids. I have a son and a daughter, and I tend to go to certain things to my daughter, like, okay, can you go look after that? Wait a minute, you know? I think it's been a societal thing, all that stuff. So then we start to create that in them, like to be the ones that look after, nurture, get all these things fixed, but for everybody else, but not to teach them to go within and look after themselves and ask themselves, who am I? What do I want?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you
Yeah,
say?
they'll just say, "I want my kids to be happy." It's like, "Okay, what do you want?" Right? "I want everyone to be happy around me," is like a common answer, but they
Yes.
don't even have a sense of who they are and what they want.
Yeah.
And so it starts with just, yeah, that acceptance, recognizing, welcoming those feelings of confusion,
Mhm.
forgiving, and then it's like, "Oh my gosh, there's all this clarity. Now there's this space to
Yeah.
get those answers." And we realize in our head there's no answers. In our heart, there are no questions.
Yeah.
So that's why dropping into heart and
Good.
center are so key.
And I mean, if I think about it too, I mean, we're a miracle and there is no other you. Like, so to me, I go, we have to be, we have to be ourselves, our true selves, because every single person is unique and brings something unique to the table. Like, I just find that so exciting, that there is no other you, and only you can bring you to this world. And that's pretty amazing. And I don't think we want to miss out. I don't want to miss out on any of the other people and who they are authentically,
Yes.
because we're
Yeah.
all bringing something to the table. And oh, what can I learn from Jerry? What can I learn from Lonnie? What's Lonnie bringing to the table? What's whatever, right? What's Virio bringing to the table? It's exciting,
Yes, it
but
is.
we have to.
But if that's your life purpose, is just to be and express who you are authentically. The problem is we don't know. We don't know who we are. So there is a process to discover that and then to embody that, to allow that. And yeah, that's like
Beautiful.
I completely
And then all this
feel you
bitter
right now.
chat is not who we are,
Yeah.
right?
But welcome that even.
Yeah.
Okay, like there's information there for us. Okay, it's telling you what's in the way. It's
Mhm.
telling you what needs your love and attention so that it can integrate and let
Yes, love
go.
that. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Telling you what needs your love and attention. Yes. Beautiful, Jerry. Oh my gosh, we could just talk forever. Thanks, Jerry. Virio says, absolutely. That was just lovely. Okay, and I think you had a VIP gift, pardon me, of a laser coaching session.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to have a call with Jerry?
Dive in deeper. So if you already know a lot of stuff that's going on for you, or those patterns that you have. And so yeah, we'll just like laser focus on one of those patterns and love it up so much that it just lets go of
Oh,
you, and you don't even have to effort. Like we think we have to let go of it. We have to get rid of it. No. It's
no.
integration. It's loving enough that it actually just
Oh,
feels
I
safe
love
to just let go, you
I
know?
just love that so much, Jerry. That's awesome.
Mm.
So good, so good, so good. Okay, so I'm putting the VIP link in the chat. If that is something that resonated with you and you haven't already upgraded to VIP, you can do that. $47. That right there is worth the $47. But on top of that, you get all the recordings of all the speakers and a whole bunch of other gifts. So thank you, Sherrie, so much. That was beautiful.
You're so welcome. And thank you, everybody, for all your beautiful comments in the chat. I love you.
Thank you, Sherrie. We love you too. Okay, what a gift that was. I'm going to send you back to the attendee group. Okay.